I will never stop standing up for Big Pharma and standing against my constituents.
Thank you.
I think it's critical that we be consistent, and I do not believe in supporting the Supreme Court.
But I will say for Portland in particular, in addition to making Measure 110 work, we need a meth stabilization center in Portland. We need a place for cops to take folks, not the emergency departments, when they are in a meth-related psychosis.
I've been focused on the border since day one on this job. I'm down there all the time. I was on the phone this week with Mayor Nichols of Yuma, Sheriff Daniels of Cochise County, talking about what more we need for Border Patrol and immigration.
That, my friends, is called evasion.
We're working to raise Border Patrol pay by 18%. I've got legislation to do that. I've been focused on the border since day one.
Okay. To no great effect because we have a wide open southern border. So if that's the best you can do, I respectfully request you resign and let's get someone in the seat who will actually secure our border.
You've been in office for 4 years now. Harry Truman said the buck stops at your desk. You've had 4 years to try to fix education in this state. Why is it not where you would want it to go at least 4 years ago where you said you wanted to go?
We've also had some historic challenges over the last few years, I think, to put it lightly. Mrs. Dixon says that I kept students out longer than any other state. That's just not true. I worked closely with my Republican and Democratic governors, and kids were out for 3 months.
People from the church. And I told them I'll pay their salary. You're evicting them right now. We have
not evicted. We have not evicted those.
I didn't write the article. I didn't write the article. And most of the people out there spend my time.
I'm okay with the discussion if we start talking over each other.
We have not evicted the tenants. And he should take that money and pay it back to the veterans that he exploited while pretending to run.
And see, you can tell that he's not desperate, because if he had read in that thing, he would have saw that I had nothing to do with that. But he is so desperate right now, and he really wants that seat. He's now telling you, I didn't evict anyone. It is written in the paper. I didn't do this. Well, Senator, you did. And it's okay to speak the truth. Do not bear false witness, Senator. Do not bear false witness.
Mr. Walker, to keep this moving, I want to follow up with you. You have been very open.
Do it all over again, what I did last year, that mandate for health care workers, because no one, after what we went through in this state and the loss of life and how people didn't survive being in a nursing home, I said our healthcare workers, when you walk into a doctor's office, a hospital or nursing home, you shouldn't contract COVID from the person charged with taking care of you.
This governor, who still, to this moment, we're halfway through the debate, she still hasn't talked about locking up anyone committing any crimes.
Okay.
Anyone who commits a crime under our laws, especially with the change we made to bail, has consequences. I don't know why that's so important to you. All I know is that we could do more.
The question is, do you still believe that supervised drug injection sites are a good idea? And would you support similar efforts at the federal level?
Thank you for the question, Kyle. We know that this is evidence-based. It would save lives. It's irrelevant in this race.
Back, and will continue to have their back, and that is me. And that's why we have the endorsement of 107 sheriffs around the state.
As I pointed out before, I'm not a member of the Good Old Boys Club. So no, I don't have 107 sheriffs who want to be able to take black people off the streets, who want to be able to go without accountability.
Mr. Bennett, you voted for President Biden's so-called Inflation Reduction Act. That plan is aimed at reducing carbon emissions by 40% by 2030, expanding the clean energy economy, and lowering healthcare costs. The Inflation Reduction Act will not, according to the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office, reduce inflation in any meaningful way. Did Democrats mislead Americans by calling it that? And do you have any concerns that the plan's spending will actually make inflation worse?
I don't think we misled the American people, and I don't think the spending is going to make it worse.
I mentioned we have a lot of questions from our viewers. I want to get to one of those right now. This is from Melissa Brown, no town given. She says, I'm a registered nurse who had to choose between my career and taking the mandated shot against COVID. I've been out of the job I love for over a year now. I'm wondering what each candidate's stand is on this. Governor Mills, she says, in her opinion, the mandate has never stopped the transmission of the virus.
And you want me to answer that first? Certainly. Look, what I say is anybody who has to go into a nursing home or a healthcare facility, a hospital, wherever, you deserve to be cared for by a person who has been fully protected themselves against contagious diseases. In the beginning of the pandemic, we found people catching the virus in the hospitals. Some of them getting very, very ill from that, and some of them dying. And the virus was being brought into the hospitals, nursing homes, and healthcare facilities. So based on the best science, the best medical advice possible, and based on the request of the hospitals and medical facilities, we did impose a work requirement that anybody working in certain healthcare professions be fully vaccinated, as they already are from other contagious diseases.
Distraction.
They just want gas prices to stay high so they can win the election. And Kevin McCarthy, who wants to be Speaker, who she says she votes for, and go kiss his feet and his ring and every other thing.
Of course I don't, and no one does.